There was one restaurant I heard about in London, got closed down because they were putting flour in a bin and onion barges in a basket. So when health and safety turned up, they said, is that the bin or the bucket? Bin, bucket, same thing. Is that the kitchen or the bathroom? Kitchen, bathroom, same thing. Is that the fridge or the freezer? Fridge, freezer, the same thing. Is that your wife or your cousin? Wife, cousin, the same thing. Times have changed now, mate. Now, when I was growing up, I grew up in the 70s where there was no money. You know you got no money when your family reused margarine tubs. That's when you know you're skint. You can't believe it's not butter. That's because there's mincemeat in that shit. I got mincemeat on my toast in the morning. My family used to think water was a preservative. Like, say there was no soap in the house. Dad, there's no soap in the house. He thought, put water into the soap, you get more soap out of it. It's not technically correct, is it? Dad, there's no soap. Don't worry, put water in the soap, shake the soap, you got more soap. It's war on my hands now. I got homeopathic soap. We used to have fish and chips once a week. There was no ketchup in the house. Dad, there's no ketchup. Don't worry, put water in the ketchup, shake the ketchup. You got more ketchup. I've got red war on my chips now. I've got soggy chips. I had so much water on my plate, the fish started swimming about again. Family thought if you put stuff in the freezer, it lasts forever. Fresh in the freezer. We used to have stuff that was well past it. It's a freezer, not a time machine. We used to have chicken, fish, dodo. It's different. That's what it is. Break down barrier. Like, I travel on Virgin planes now, right? Problem is, when I travel abroad on Virgin planes, you can phone up your people, tell them when you're arriving at your destination. They've got phones on the planes. Problem is, most of my family speak Punjabi abroad. So when I'm telling them I'm arriving, I've got to tell them in Punjabi. I was on the plane, I was like, on my flight 749, 10 minutes to which land karda pya. The guy next to me shit himself. He phoned up his wife and told him he loved her. And he might never see her again. I didn't want to ruin the surprise. I started reading the Quran. I'm not even a Muslim. This country hasn't quite clamped down, even the government, you know? Problems in this country. You get stabbed in this country, they won't find the killers. But if you drive down a bus lane, they'll take a picture of you in the car and send it to your house within 48 hours. So if you get stabbed, make sure you get stabbed in a bus lane. It's a problem, you know? Even like people don't even wear their seatbelts to the car. Government had this campaign, going to try and help people wear a seatbelt. This guy goes to pick up a pizza. He's not wearing a seatbelt. He crashes a car. Pizzas flipped up all over the place. Pepperoni everywhere. He's dead. Second take, he picks up a pizza again, crashes a car. This time he's wearing a seatbelt. Pizzas flipped up all over the place. Pepperoni everywhere. But he survives. He says, what have you learned from this video? I'm like, get your pizza delivered.
My God, it is hard work bringing up kids and you have so many fears and anxieties. My latest one is the considerable tide of opinion which seems to suggest that all children in this country will be utterly morbidly obese within the next 10 years. The statistics on this are terrifying, and I want to talk about this subject, but it is very difficult to approach through comedy because it's a sensitive subject. Adult obesity too. I'm certainly not going to address the women on this subject because I understand for women, body shape and weight gain, it's a far more complex matter. It's to do with slow metabolism and bones and so on, and I understand that. But gentlemen, I think we need to take responsibility. We were all given a bit of a fillip and a bit of encouragement by the Olympics. Let's try and keep this kind of mentality going. The government have made it terrifically complicated now. They've come up with something called the body mass index. You need a calculator to work out if you're fat or not. This is a bit of an old-fashioned British approach, which has stood me in good stead. 5 alarm bells. The first one rings if you look down one evening and realise you can no longer see your belt buckle. If you take action at that point, you'll thank yourself later. It's very easy to correct the fault. Second alarm bell rings if you look down one evening and realise you can no longer see what, for the purposes of this section, I shall refer to as your cock. That is a little more serious. And if you can no longer see your feet, you're in real trouble. And those of you thinking, well, if I can't see my cock, I won't be able to see my feet, ha, ha, ha. You're exactly the sort of self-deluded fools who are most at risk. The fourth alarm bell rings when you can no longer see your cock in a mirror. Oh, yes, they're out there. And the fifth and final bell rings when you can no longer see it with two mirrors and an erection. Now, at that point, you're no doubt too busy pleasuring yourself with the folds of your own flesh to worry what the rest of us think, and it's none of my business. Listen, I'm not the police. I don't care what you get up to. Nature has its compensations. All I am saying is it wise as a society that we choose to reward this excessive level of corpulence with subsidised transport. And I'm not talking about the odd bus pass. I'm talking about these three-wheeled electrical obesicles, I call them. I don't know if that is the correct term. You've seen them. Mobility scooters. They were designed for the elderly and infirm, but they have been hijacked recently. Not literally, I hope. My God, that would be a long-winded and tedious crime to watch unfold if it is going on. Somehow they've got hold of them. They look ridiculous. The first one I saw, he was so vast, he appeared to be hovering up the street. You can see on the vehicle entirely. He looked like Jabba the Hutt on a magic carpet. I thought, no wonder you put on a few pounds. You've mastered the art of levitation. You're not going to burn off many calories that way. It's only when I saw a wire basket glinting between his thighs, his right trouser leg started flashing orange as he turned into Greg's, I realised what was going on. Of course, you shut down Greg's, you solve the whole problem of a stroke anyway, I suspect. That is the mother lode, isn't it? I was in a branch of Greg's recently, and the Olympians here will enjoy this. I like a pasty as much as the next man, but that is a deluded shop. They were selling mineral water, which is optimistic enough, but they were selling that in regular bottles, 80 pence, I think it was, for a half litre, or for a 20 pence premium, you could buy the same quantity of the same water, but in a special bottle, and this was how it was described on the shelf, with the sports cap. Big capital letters, the sports cap. The kind you can open with your teeth and one hand, so you don't have to dismount from your bicycle on that crucial last stage of your triathlon and waste valuable seconds opening a bottle of water. I don't think that's a priority for your average Greg's customer. Do you? The sports cap, maybe if you've got a fag on the go in the other hand, that helps. What are they going to sell next? Little pies with clips you can put on your track shorts and a straw you can suck the gravy out?
So, what are you going to do? I don't know, do you want to tell some jokes? Why did the monkey cross the road? Because he saw you standing behind him, rolling up your sleeve. That's horrible. I'm sorry about that. I want freedom from you. Really? Yeah, I hate this vicarious life. I don't even have my own problems, I have yours. I can't sleep at night, I'm so worried about your mortgage. I'm sorry, I want freedom. I have of late, but wherefore I know not, lost all my mirth. Forgone all custom of exercise. Indeed, it goes so heavily with my disposition. What's this? Oh, I don't know, just some shit I wrote when I was locked in a room with a typewriter. Weird. So no, just I want freedom, you know. I want to be like you. Hoo-hoo. And I think you need to go kung ho. Stop expressing yourself through a third monkey. It's weird. So what do you suggest? I suggest you let me control you. Just follow my instructions. Right, so what do I do? Get the bag. Okay. Here it is. Now what? Get in the bag. Oh, get in the bag. Okay, put me in the bag. They'll miss you. It's okay, I'll still be here. Because she's shit without me. What do I do now? Put me in now. Take your hand out of me. Okay. Oh, sweet Jesus, it feels nice and nasty at the same time. Okay. All right, my hand's out now. What do I do? Take your hand out the bag. Oh, I don't want to. Go on. Force yourself. Don't you like me naked? No. It's very disturbing, but it's very deconstructive. But I miss the monkey. I am the monkey, a schizophrenic bitch. What do? Talk to the hand. Don't want to. Put the bag down. Oh, I feel very exposed. I don't know about... What are you doing? I can't tell my arse from your elbow. I don't know if I can continue with this. It's doing my head in. Okay, then put this hand down by your side. But I'm still here. Where are you now? I'm in your mind. All right, monkey, the laughter's got a bit uneasy. It's okay, you'll still get paid. I feel vulnerable. Are you ready for the final step? I'm not sure. What's the final step? I'm going to get on your face. Okay, monkey, I don't like the sound of that. Stay where you are. Here I come. No, stay where you are. Here I come, here I come, here I am. Oh, at last I'm in the stupid cow. You're all a bit freaked out now, aren't you? It's quite a sweet voice on a little monkey, but with tits, it's bloody sinister.
The other day, my wife and I had a meeting that I did not know was a meeting. I got in, and there was tea, and there was biscuits. And I thought, brilliant. And I sat down, and I'm drinking, oh, Viscounts, I love them. Oh, didn't even take the foil off. Oh, these are... Oh, my... Love a Viscount. And she goes, yeah, we got to have a chat about Emily. I'm like, yeah, all right, yeah, what's going on? She goes, yeah, she's having a sleepover on Friday. I should have pointed out earlier that this is just after my daughter turned 16. That's a very important number to bear in mind. She said, yeah, Emily's having a sleepover on Friday. I went, all right, do you want me to buy pizzas? No. Because there's only one person coming. Oh, right. Right, shall I just buy one pizza? Stop talking about pizza. She's having a sleepover, and it's Stephen.
What, the boyfriend?
Yeah.
Oh, where's he going to sleep?
In Emily's room.
Where's she going to sleep?
She's going to sleep in her room as well.
What, on the floor?
Tubbs, come here. Listen to me very carefully. Your 16, remember that number, 16-year-old daughter is having a boy stay the night. I run out into the front garden. Why? My wife's standing there going, I think you're overreacting. Why? She's like, I don't want her losing her virginity up against a skip. And I'm like, it was good enough for us! Why do you think I keep hiring them? She's like, look, remember when we were kids and we used to hang out with each other and we wished that our parents had been cool enough to just let us do our own thing in our own way? Well, it's your turn to be the cool parent. I don't want to be a cool parent. You've got to be. I know I've got to be. And so that Friday, that was it. Stephen arrives. Ding dong. He's a lovely kid. I've known Stephen since he was 8. Wonderful little boy. Not anymore. Now he is my nemesis. He comes in and I'm sat in the kitchen. All right, Phill. All right. Hello, Stephen. Am I?
Generally, I like coming to work these days because I love my job. I like this job because I'm allowed to be sarcastic at work, you know, which I'm sure many of you do, but I'm contractually obligated to be sarcastic at work. I used to do it in my old job. I remember I was like, oh, well done, Toby. That's a brilliant spaceship, you dick. That is how I lost my job in the primary school, really, but... It's weird. Sarcasm is very popular, isn't it, in this country? We go mental for it. We love sarcasm. Sometimes I think it's too popular. Sometimes I think it creeps into situations where it doesn't really belong. Like, I'll give you an example. Recently, I was at the dentist, and they had a poster in the waiting room, and it said, "Question, do I have to floss between all of my teeth?" Answer, no, just the ones you want to keep. I don't think sarcasm is appropriate in a medical context. Really. I mean, where do you draw the line with that? What if you're at the doctor's, at the GP in the waiting room, and there's a poster on the wall and it says, "Question, can I eat all the pies?" Answer, there, you carry on, you thick fat prat. That would be quite an aggressive campaign, wouldn't it? Although what's tragic is you wouldn't reel back in shock if you saw it in this country. You'd be like, oh, right, well, I'll lay off the pies then. I've maxed out all my credit cards. I love the adverts on the radio for credit cards when the woman's really excited. And she's like, get this credit card because it's brilliant. And there's 0 interest for 9 long months. And you can buy loads of stuff. And you can go into absolute denial about debt. And it might even make you come. And then... right at the end, she goes, "Subject to availability, non-fixed favorability, terms and conditions apply." Like, what did you just say then? That's not a reasonable way of communicating, is it? You wouldn't tolerate being spoken to in that manner in any other situation in your life. You wouldn't put up with it. You wouldn't put up with it if, for example, you were out on a date and you thought to yourself, this bloke's attractive. And he says to you, I think you're attractive and I am solvent. And I've got absolutely no emotional baggage. But I will be intending to take you up the arse, not returning phone calls and erode your self-confidence. Like, sorry, I didn't catch everything you said then. You gabbled a bit then at the end. Don't worry, darling. Don't worry, sweetheart. Do you want another little glass of wine, something like that? Do hope you're going for a tit wank and I'll be recording it for training purposes. That would be quite unsettling, wouldn't it, you know, initially. Push through. The other quite nice thing about this job is not only am I allowed to be sarcastic, I'm allowed to exaggerate. All comedians exaggerate. It's quite a comedic conceit to use exaggeration. And women are very good at exaggerating. Generally speaking, we're a lot better than men at it, I think, apart from the cock stuff. We're much better at exaggerating than men. Women are very good at just slightly overreacting to arguably trivial things. We've got that covered. Like, you know when a woman puts her hand in her handbag to find her purse, but she doesn't immediately find her purse? I've lost my purse. I'm not being funny. I'm going to have to cancel all of my cards now and everything. I found it! I hadn't checked the front pocket! What am I like? You're like a prick.
He says, mate, you can't do nothing about the bloody geckos, mate. You're bloody lucky if there's only one of them. They're bloody everywhere, bloody geckos. Bloody lucky if you're only bloody one. I don't bloody feel lucky that thing looking at me. So I had to ignore it. I just had to try and sleep in this motel room. And they've got no eyelids, these things. They've got no eyelids. That's the only look they've got. As if you've got the problem. What is it? What are you looking at? What are you looking at? Well, you're staring at me. It doesn't matter where I go, pal. I'll still be staring at you. I've got no eyelids. None. So I thought, right, I'll just have to try and ignore it, right? So I get into the bed in this motel room. That's how you get into the... Have you noticed that? Every hotel bed in the world, why do they feel the need to tuck the sheets so tight? Where am I going to go? Has there been a spate of people falling out of hotel beds for years? Oh, we need to do something about this, right? Make sure you're tucking it in tight. Right, come on, get in there. Get that in there. Give me the stapler. Bang, bang, bang. You can't get in. I was in Birmingham last night. I had to slide down from the back wall to get into my hotel bed. I felt like I was being faxed. And then you get in, you go, really, oh, well, I guess that's me for the night. Probably won't be moving much now. Probably won't be doing what I usually do at this time of night. Reading my Bible. It's weird that. I tell you another thing about hotels. Why is it in the bathroom they put, like, you know, they put a hairdryer on the wall? You go, that's quite handy, there's a hairdryer on the wall, ready-made. You pick it off, it comes on automatically. It's got all the impact and power of an elderly relative breathing on your head. Is this on? It's on full. Well, this would be ideal if the look I was going for was hot and wet. Phone in the toilet. No one has a phone in their toilet at home. Where the hell did you get that idea from? So anyway, sorry, so this... staring at me. I've got into the bed, right? I thought, right, out of sight, out of mind, Danny, turn out the light, just ignore it. I turn out the light. No one told me this. That's when the bloody thing comes to life. They don't move in the light, but you turn out the light, I hear this... That's it running across the wall. I turn on the light and it's, you know... Looking all innocent, you know, what is it? What is it? What are you looking at? What do you mean, what am I looking at? You were there, and you're now there. We both know you've moved, pal. You can't prove it. You can't prove anything. Well, just stay there, right? And every time, and turn and it's somewhere else. Worst night's sleep I've ever had. The worst bit was when I turned on the light. This is about 4 o'clock in the morning. I can't see it. Can't see the bloody thing. Oh, where is it? Can't see it under the root. No, right, it's gone. I think it's gone. Whatever it is, it's gone. Get back into the bed. I'm just about to turn out the light. I look up. It's on the ceiling. And this is a motel, so the ceiling's there. And it's... And I screamed. Oh, I've never screamed like that before. Ah! It drops from the ceiling onto my chest. And it's sitting on the chest like that. But the sheets are so tight, I can't get this thing up. So, do you know what I did? The weirdest defense you could possibly think of. I started blowing on the gecko. Please get off me, you have no business here. Gecko's loving it. This is lovely, this is. I usually have to straddle a hairdryer for this kind of treatment. Oh.
It's just that thing they do, like in Pret-a-Manger, when they write on all of their stuff, contains no unnecessary preservatives. That's an empty sentence. So it contains preservatives, but no unnecessary ones. Like, the insinuation is that Greggs down the road are wasting time and money having their sandwiches embalmed. And it's horrible when a sentence niggles at you when people say it, like when people go, oh yeah, I'm against organised religion. Like it's not the homophobia that's the problem, but the excellent admin. I hate the phrase committed vegetarian, like, oh yeah, she's a committed vegetarian, because it insinuates that there are adulterous vegetarians, like going around the place getting off with sausages behind Carrot's back. Kevin was talking about the double-dip recession. I have, I think, solved the economic crisis. I mean, I'm not bragging, but I think I've worked it out, right? So basically, debt, as I understand it, is caused by people borrowing more than they can afford to pay back, yeah? And they spend it on things that they don't need, like clothes and shoes and nuclear weapons. But when you think about it, some people don't get into debt. Children. Do they? Small, smug, in-the-black children. So all we need to do is make chip and pin machines a bit more like parents, and then we don't have a problem. Because you'd go into the shop, you'd pick something out, you'd put in your card and your number, and it would say, "You've already got a coat." And you'd have to go and put it back. So you'd pick something else out, put in your card and your number, and it would say, "Sensible black ones, please, so you can wear them to school." So you'd have to put them back. So you'd pick something else out, put in your card and your number, and it would say, "OK, you can have nuclear weapons, but you've got to share them with your sister." No. Then we would have to put them back, because our sister is France. She's the one we want to use them on. Being poor has not stopped people shopping. I know that because I live in Tooting, where people have not let being very deprived stop them from dressing badly in a different way every day. There is a fashion trend in my area where women wear T-shirts with more attractive women on them. So, like, there'll be acne-ridden schoolgirls emblazoned with Debbie Harry in her heyday. Very big women with Kate Moss riding around on their pendulous breasts. And very old women, the kind that have been betrayed twice by their follicles, wearing both 5 o'clock shadow and a wig. And they'll have Rihanna grinding down on them inappropriately. When I first noticed this, I thought, these women cannot be well served by the comparison. Like if a gentleman was like, "Oh, hello, But then I remembered that men are stupid. And actually, they will find anything alluring if you put a sexy woman on it. That's the basis of all advertising ever. Like, these T-shirts are probably tricking men into having threesomes. Like, "Oh, yeah, it's a great night last night. It was me, pop star Rihanna, and a really old lady who was bald with a beard." Yeah. The facial hair thing terrifies me. I'm setting up a charity, which is going to be where young women go into hospitals and pluck the faces of old women for them. It's going to be called Dignitash.
I don't know how you guys got here tonight. I squatted down, put my head between my knees, and fell forward. That's how I roll. My ex-girlfriend said we can work on my bladder problem together. I said, there is no we. Now piss off. Uncle just set a new world record by getting 27 pigeons to land on him. What a ledge. They should make a statue of that man. He'd like that. Does my wife think I'm a control freak? I haven't decided yet. She used to hate that joke. And now she loves it. The other night at a party, my wife got drunk and told everyone she invented the echo. I said, listen to yourself. Self. Fat people block the pavement. There's no getting around it. Ever take a shit so big you needed a midwife? Me too. Unfortunately, the blueprint to my honey farm was destroyed. I have no plan B. In some circles, I'm considered the inventor of the hula hoop. People who reinforce their own country's negative stereotypes. What's that all about? Hey? Gets me so angry, I want to just throw down my jar of maple syrup and crawl out of my igloo, pick up my ice hockey stick and club a seal. Or a moose? Or Justin Bieber? You're welcome. Canada has the fewest number of pretentious people to speak Latin than anywhere else in the world, per capita. I'm talking Saskatchewan, Manitoba, etc., etc. Vis-a-vis New Brunswick. Spartacus. I don't think Spartacus is Latin, but it gets me a couple of laughs, and that's why I'm here. People say I have the legs of a dancer, but until they find the rest of the body, the cops got nothing on me, man. Someone recently called me a shameless self-promoter. Me, Stewart Francis. .com. I've been described as being dismissive and having a limited vocabulary. Women. People say I'm a plagiarist. Their word, not mine. I've been called irritating, not once, not twice, not 3 times, not 4 times, not 5 times, not 6 times, not 7 times, not 8 times, not 9 times, not even 10 times, not 11 times, not 12 times, not 13 times, and finally, not 14 times, not 15 times, 16 times, but a grand total of 17 times, not 18 times.
It's always hard to get laughs because people do get offended, and I hate to offend. It's just a gift I have. It is. It is. Because I was in Wales, and I love the fact people in Wales, you love your kind of terrorism, don't you? About 100 years ago, they used to put bombs by the sewers, by the rivers, and whenever English dignitaries would come, they'd shower. No one would die, they'd just shower them with sewage. I said, it's great to be in the home of suicide bombing, okay? And, you know, and people got offended because you come here with your suicide bombing joke. I always do jokes about suicide bombing. I say, there are now suicide bomber schools now. I mean, how does that even work, you know? Where's your bag? Oh, I left it on the bus. Well done, house point. But I will say this, ladies and gentlemen. I will say, all this ethnic stuff that people do, it's had its time. It's time to move on. But the Kenyan president is called Wacky Backy. And that is funny shit. Look it up on Wikipedia. Kenyan president Wacky Backy. But the BBC News presenters refuse to call him Wacky Backy because it's a euphemism for marijuana. So they say, today, the Kenyan president, Mweke Beke, arrived in London with his foreign secretary, Mr. Hugespliff, and his Minister for Interiors, Mr. Afansi Marsbar, and also his wife, Mrs. Agadi Munchies, where is the fridge? I love young people. You know, I was on a long-haul flight once. I was flying about a 10-hour flight. There was a young person sat next to me. I thought, we haven't had a chat. It's 2 hours in. I might have a quick chat. I said, hello, do you want to have a quick chat? It might make the time go by quicker. She went, sure, what do you want to talk about? And I said, facetiously, why don't we talk about Iran's nuclear weapons program? And she goes, all right then. And she put down her crayon. She goes, well, before we do that, can I ask you a question? I said, sure. She goes, when a horsey does a poo-poo, it comes out in long tubes. And yet when a sheep does a poo-poo, it comes out in little pellets. And yet when a cow does a poo-poo, it comes out in flat, round pats. Why is that? I said, that's actually a very good question. I've got no idea. She goes, well, how do you expect me to talk about Iran's nuclear weapons program when you don't know shit?
They never tell us on the news what we want to know about Greece. What we really want to know about Greece is, does this economic disaster mean it is more or less expensive to go on holiday to Greece? That's all we want to know. That's all we want. What is the cost of 2 weeks half-board in Corfu? The British people deserve an answer. We're always being told what the British people deserve. You look at my friends' Facebook pages are just them moaning about life and what they deserve. Their Facebook status, mad day, got up, got the kids to school, did the washing, did the shopping, went to work, picked the kids up, did the dinner, sitting on the couch drinking red wine. I deserve this. No, I always think, no, you don't, actually, no. If you live okay in Britain, you live one of the most privileged lives in the world. The people who deserve a good old moan on Facebook are people trying to bring up families in war-torn sub-Saharan Africa. They deserve Facebook, don't they? Yeah? Mad day. Had to walk 10 miles to fetch clean water. Got turned back by the militia. Lost a child to malaria on the way home. Sitting in my tent drinking rainwater. I deserve this. And then you get the needy Facebook status, the cry for help one. You've heard this? I've got friends who literally have said, I feel like crying, ... And everyone piles in. What do you mean? You're a lovely person. And this friend of mine literally wrote, I just feel so sad today. In the Middle East, people are writing things on Facebook like, I feel like crying. What's wrong? I've just been tear-gassed. Proper shit. Yes? People are tweeting, I've just been shot. Sad face, you know. ROFD, that means rolling on the floor dying. You know, proper stuff. We use Facebook and Twitter for rubbish. You ever seen those sanctimonious little poems and quotes people put on Facebook to make you feel better about life? They drive me mad. I've got one here. Honestly, I've got two. I printed out. This first one is always put on by women, by the way. I'm not being sexist there, because I was sort of raised by women. I was. Can you tell? I never had that older brother figure who beat me up. I had two older sisters who dressed me up. No, I was raised by women. Sounds like I was raised by wolves, doesn't it? I was found running with a wild hen night in Newcastle. But this first quote, always put on by women. You will recognise it, some of you. Friends are angels who lift us to our feet when our wings have trouble remembering how to fly. Do you know what? Us men, we may be emotionally constipated, but I'm damn proud we don't put shit like that on Facebook. I'm bloody proud. This second quote, this one's put on by everybody. This is a long one. Lots of you will recognise this one. I've had this one about 4 times. Life is short. Break the rules. Forgive quickly. Kiss slowly. Love truly. Laugh uncontrollably. And never regret anything that made you smile. 20 years from now, you'll be more disappointed by the things you didn't do than by the ones you did. So throw off the bow lines, sail away from the safe harbour, catch the trade winds in your sails, explore, dream, discover. Do you know what? I've got a mortgage to pay, bills to deal with, kids to bring up. I don't have time for this crap on my Facebook page.
About 3 years ago, I split up with my last girlfriend, and we split up roughly around the time she fucked somebody else. And roughly in the same vicinity of time. And I was hurt, but I couldn't. I mean, I've cheated before, a fair bit, and I've been cheated on a lot, probably more than I know. I had played this scene more than Olivier has played Shakespeare. So if I'm gonna say something to her, I can't come from a position of moral superiority. So I asked her, I said, why? And she says, honestly? I said, yeah, you made me do it. How did I do that? You were never here. You were always absent. You were always gone. And your absences made me feel insecure, unworthy, and it forced me to get validation from someone I didn't even like. I said, let me see if I understand. I made you fuck somebody while I wasn't even present. What an unusual superpower. Is that what you're gonna tell your friends? I just want to know in case I bump into your friends at a party and they shoot me bitch looks and I'll be in on the joke. I can go, yep, I am such a prick. I messed up. I deserve your scorn. I was jogging through the forest one morning and 50 yards away I saw a meteor that had recently crash landed. I could still feel the heat and the radiation, but I felt compelled to go up to it. I tore off a piece, stupid me, I ate it, and all of a sudden, I had the ability to make people fuck one another, provided they didn't like one another and I wasn't present. And I was so excited with this new power, the first and only person I could think of to test it on was my girlfriend. By the way, if any of you have recently had unwanted sex, it's probably my fault. I mean, the other day I gave a lady a compliment, and I realized that British people's problem with compliments is they can't tell if you're slagging them off or not. You know, they can't tell. A buddy of mine, he was wearing his hat the other day, and I said, "Hey, bro, you look snappy in that hat." And he was like, and I said, "I'm American. I have no subtext." And he went, "Oh, well, thank you very much." I was at a party one night, and I was minding my own business, and a young lady walked up, and she says, "Reginald D. Hunter." I said, "Yes, ma'am. I heard you have issues with women." I said, "Really? Which ones?" "You know, issues." I said, "No, ma'am, I don't. Are you saying I blame women for global warming or Greece not having no money, or what you say?" "Probably some woman broke your heart, and then you just blamed all women after that." I said, "Oh, so then you thought it would be helpful to me if you came over and was dismissive to me about my issues." I wasn't being dismissive. "Yes, ma'am, you were. You walked up and gave me a piece of gossip and then gave me the summation of what it's supposed to be. You haven't asked me anything about myself." It was dismissive. "You take that back. I was not being dismissive." I said, "Okay, maybe I'm misjudging. I have had a drink. And who knows? Maybe your period's on." And and she looked at me like, and I said, "You don't like it because it's dismissive."
When I see that needs doing, I don't care. I'll just wash the bath mat. It doesn't bother me. I'm an adult. I would happily do every chore in the house. It wouldn't bother me to do everything. But I can't because I have to leave, right? If you stay with someone all the time, that's full-time care. That's not flat sharing. That's not the commitment I went into. So I have to leave the house. And like now, they're back there now eating food and touching stuff. I can feel it. Opening cupboards and subsisting by eating food, right? So they have to know, for example, what to do with the waste products they create when they eat food, right? So they need to know about things like recycling. Now, again, I can't bear to tell them everything that goes into the job of recycling. It would just exhaust me to have to say, "You know, when you finish your cereal, can you take the little plastic bag out and then just put that on the side, and then go to the bin and tip any little Cheerios that are in the thing? Because we don't want any in there, because then they go in the box, they go outside, they get rained on, it goes mouldy, and we don't want a mouldy box, do we?" And then, you know when you've opened the top of the cereal box? That's very good, well done. Can you open the bottom the same way, and then whoop? Like that is now, isn't that good? And then foldy, 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 foldy. Look how small it is, and then come with me to the box. Come, follow, quickly, follow. You put the little thing in the thing there, and then wedge it in the corner with a wine bottle, because otherwise it spreads out, and all that work was wasted. This is where we put the cereal, this is where we put the wine bottle, and the bean tin, and the newspaper. And then you pick it up every other Wednesday. Not every Wednesday. No, they don't come every Wednesday. Every other Wednesday. Go to the... Follow, come. Put the little green thing in there. I didn't say any of this, right? I didn't think they'd understand, really. Why are you talking like that, John?
I think I've had a breakdown.
All I said, to make it as simple as possible, I said is, you know when you finish your cereal, can you just put the empty box on the windowsill and it gets recycled by the fairy, right? It's not a nickname I'm happy with, but it seems to have stuck. And the cereal box is here and the windowsill's there, so it's like, that's all I have. Every now and again I'll get back from a gig, might be tonight, flick the bin lid open. Hello, Mr. Cereal Box. Oh, I wonder, how did you get in there? And my first thought is always, do you know I'm not getting there? Because they hate you, John. That's a dirty protest. That's, yeah, look at that, you dick. Yeah. That's nothing to do with the council. He brought that little green box from his last house. Sad little wank. They might as well pull their pants down, get on the worktops, and drag themselves across. Sell out, piss off back to your last house, right? And I think, oh my God, they hate me. And then I realise they don't hate me. I know they don't hate me because they will clean some stuff, right? Because they know it excites me or something. They think it turns me on to watch them do chores. I really would rather they didn't. They wait till I'm relaxing, watching a bit of, I don't know, You've Been Framed or something. Just the pains of the elderly to relax me of an evening. Yeah, go on, get on the pogo stick. See how that ends. They'll wait till I'm just chilling out, and then one of them will go, oh, I'm going to do the washing up. And I have to sit there and think, yeah, so am I. 5 minutes after you think you've done it. Watch them. They're just shit. They don't understand. They look at me. It's like a little lap dance. They're watching me going, yeah, can you see what I'm doing? Can you see what I'm doing? I have to go, yeah, I can see what you're doing. You're doing a baking tray when there's still wine glasses.